Okay, hi, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you, or today instead, we are going to be designing. Up top, I'm going to show you my whole design process from start to finish. I am also going to share with you some tips and probably some resources or sites you could actually visit when you are designing your next project. So without wasting your time, let's go straight into it. Okay, now, so when you are designing most times, or how do you want to make your design pop on social media? I've gotten this question, or this is the question I'm going to be addressing today. So without them up and down and this and that, let's go straight into it. So one of the ways you could probably make your design pop, or make your design pop for social media, or make your design pop for your portfolio, is to properly use colors. Colors is a big factor when it comes to making design pop, because their colors usually ignite or basically express emotion. So it can either be a happy design, or it's a moody design, or it could be an exciting or an enthusiastic design. So all those ones put together can make your design pop, and color is the best way, or is the best element to convey that kind of idea or that kind of emotion that is in your designs. So I'm going to share with you some sites or some resources that I think will be very good for you. I use them, but I use one of them most often than the other one. So there are two sites that I get most times color palettes when designing, and I've showed you before on how we can generate our own color palette just by using two colors from one of the sites. So the first one is called colors.co. Those ones are just patterns. These extra ones are not that necessary. So it's just color.co, and this is the site. So this is the palettes and the trending colors. So you could see tons of colors, or a lot of colors that you could pick from. And all you just need to do, if you want to, you see a color that you like and you want to make use of it, is come and hover around it. Then you see the color code or the hex code. You can click and it will be copied to your clipboard, and you can bring it back into Illustrator and double click on your fill here and here, just paste that and you click OK. So you get that color there. So that's one way to get a color from color.co. The next one is also pigment shapefactory.co. It's also a very good site where you want to just looking for two colors that have good contrast, and you need them, either you want to design it in a monochromatic format, or you just want to use two main colors for your designs. So I would advise you, anytime you're using color, ensure the colors have contrast, good contrast, a very good contrast, because imagine picking colors that have low contrast, it will actually make the design very dull, even when the two colors are bright and exciting. So ensure that they have good contrast when you're applying this technique, so you'll be able to make your design pop. So the foreground and the background have to be different, and very different, by applying the technique or the contrast principle. So that one also works. So those are the two sites I use for getting colors. Now the other one is just fonts, but I think fonts is not mainly to make your design pop, is to convey messages. So if you want to convey a particular feeling, or you want to convey a message, which is the primary role of using fonts or using typefaces, is to convey a message, then also convey an emotion or a feeling. Also, you can use typefaces. So typefaces an aspect is just that one. Wow, for making your design pop, I think colors will actually do much better for you. Then also another thing is to do research. Research is very important. It cannot be overemphasized. Try and do research most times. You could probably want to do research and you can see just one design and to spark an idea where you work with that. But ensure that you do enough research before you start designing. So that's one, is just a tip. So it's about 5 minutes just talking about how you can start your design. So now I'm going to be reproducing or improving instead a design I saw online on probably one of our groups. I saw it online and I felt okay, probably we could do something from it. I hid the person's contact because I don't want to reveal their contact here. So this is the whole content about the flyer. So we're going to see how we can make it better. So I went online and I went on Pinterest instead, and I did some little research and see which idea I could actually use, or things that I'm attracted, or designs I'm attracted to, I was attracted to, or I find them pleasing, that I could actually use or pick an idea from there and use it. So the one that really struck my eye was this and this, although even this also stood out, but I think this plays more for me than the other ones. Then also I went online and went also on Freepik to get this. Some of them went also online to see if I could get some of the resources, and I also got some of these images. Some of them were generated, AI generated. I think three of them are AI generated. I didn't get any of them from Freepik. They are AI generated. Then I also got my colors from colors.co, the first site I showed you, and these are my color codes or my hex code. I'm going to be making use of them, and I'm going to be using the colors. So the way you could do it, as I showed you initially, is that you draw your shapes. You draw a shape, then you duplicate them. You could pick the first one, you just cut it. Instead, we come here. Before that, ensure that the shape you want to use is highlighted. Double click and paste it there, and okay. So we have our first color there. We cut this through, select the shape, double click, and you could paste that there. We'll cut this. Okay, now we have our colors being applied here, so we're going to add them to the swatch. So when you select all of them, you go to the fill and you click on the folder icon here to have it. So have our color group. Okay, just take the one there, and okay, so we have them added under there. If you want, you could delete them, but I think you can just keep them, so you don't need to jump into the swatches to get your colors there. So let's start designing. So as I said, these are just 4 ideas. We are not going to be looking over there for a very long time. So let's just go straight into seeing what we can design. So first things first, we draw a shape. You can ensure that they are 1080 by 1080. So that's one thing. You could place them at the center, and then we have our base color there. So now I'm going to be applying the gradient using a gradient. So freeform gradient here. And I want it not to be too dark, so instead of having this, I could double click and adjust my slider. I use HSB most times, so we slide that there, not be too much, and also use this. I think we'll make it darker here. So all I'm just doing is just adjusting the slider. You can adjust, put it in any position you want it to be. I do not want it to be too shouty in this case. We'll make that part very bright, and then this is dark, so that's where contrast, a little bit of contrast could be. Okay, so I think this is good. This is good for a start. We'll begin to add other things there to see how we could spice it up. So I will be making use of this as my main object. So already it's looking very good, even though we haven't established anything here. So I want commercial yogurt production training or skill acquisition instead to be probably in the background there. So let's have our font and we say skill. Is this skills or just skill? Acquisition. And we'll be using Morganite. It's a very condensed font. To scale our Morganite font there. Space here, reduce that. We'll also break our acquisition from here, or push it towards the side, towards the right instead, using the right alignment. And we could use the lead. Is it leading or the tracking? No, the leading. I think that's the leading between them. So good. So if we put it here, then we'll have to displace it to the left, like so. Then I think it doesn't have to be too big. Yeah, like that. So we'll be applying maybe 2 or 3 colors from our color palette here. Acquisition, maybe red, and the other, no, it's too far. Maybe blue here, and then maybe blue here, and let's see, this color could do. Okay, so I think this is good. Now we have this. We can bring this guy on top, over the top here, and drag it inside. For this case where we have just I wanted to just be space, but to show, or we could just ignore trying to show that this is a continuation from this to this, even though they are having something like that. So let's just leave it like this, and just say it's a design. So what we are going to do next is we are going to add our shadows to it. I'm going to just adjust this and add our shadow. Now we're going to customly create our own shadow, and if we want to do that, we could do that in Photoshop. It would be much easier. Shadows are much easier created in Photoshop than in Illustrator, but they are very, or you could manually create them, and it'll be very flexible when you do them in Illustrator. So I'll just show you how to do it in Illustrator sharply using our curvature tool. So you will kind of trace. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just kind of trace the whole shape and stuff like that, like this, and then so like that. It doesn't have to be that perfect. We are going to also do that for this spill, and probably for this spoon. And we're going to change that into black, take it down there like that, and reduce the opacity to about 20 or 21 or anyone, blur, Gaussian blur, and 30 I think is very okay. So you could increase the opacity to see which one suits it better. So I think 30 is okay, like that. So what I mean by it's going to be very flexible is that you could adjust the shadow anyhow you want to. Just go to your layers here, and you could scroll down to, so I think this is it. No, that's the linked file. So this is it. If you want, you could rename it as shadow, but you hardly see somebody who actually does that. So you can also add more shadows, then group them together. So let's just try and also do that one too. And let's zoom in and have that traced out like that, like so. We could reduce that to 30, Gaussian blur, okay, and send that to the back, and also adjust it we'll do that too, and we can pick the other shadow. So two of them selected and group them, and let's see how they are. So now they're now one, and that's all. So good. We already have our shadow added to that. We can furthermore adjust this. So scale acquisition, yogurt. I think we're almost done. Now it's just for us to start picking up our content and seeing how we're going to. But I will also want to try and take this image into Photoshop, because I think we could add shadows and also add all those ones too. So we click on the edit in Photoshop right over here, and it takes you straight into Photoshop. So now we can begin to add probably shadows and stuff, and those ones we could come into shadows and highlight here. It basically wants to kill the shadow, but we allow that. So this is what I mean. It shouldn't be too much. Good and okay. Now we are going to use the burn. The burn is to add shadows there. We could apply small of it. Ensure your exposure is a little bit down. We take it down more so it doesn't give it so much burn in that aspect. And then for the highlights, use the dodge. You can also increase the size here. Click on that, you can increase the size. So you could add more there. If it's too harsh, you drop it to about maybe 20, and then you could increase your highlights there. I think that's too much. Okay. Good. Okay, good. So once you press Ctrl S, it saves it and automatically gives you a prompt in Illustrator. So you press OK, and we begin to see. I think it's too dark. You can also go back to Photoshop and edit it here. So we're going to try and see if we could add small highlight there, using our dodge there. We could choose that. Add a little bit of highlights. More highlights here, not too much. Yep. So Ctrl S, and it will give you a prompt. If it doesn't give you continue working, it will give you a prompt later on. So now we have this. We are going to also introduce other milks. We want them to be flying in the 2x. So we're going to also draw shadows for those ones too. So now we have this. We could select the two of them. Ensure they are grouped. Then we can edit one of it like that. Make it smaller, I think. Shouldn't be too big. The ones without label, yeah. And also bring this guy top here. Like that, maybe just here, and then I think a blur will be okay for it. Gaussian blur, pump that guy up. And also for you, I think a blur should be also good for you too, but not too much. Drop it to about maybe 6. Okay. So we're going to start adding our content. So our commercial stuff, so those ones to put together to commercial production training. So let's say that is the logo. That's the logo, I think, because it's looking like something like that. So we are going to call it commercial yogurt production training. place that at the center and reduce the size. You can also make it auto. Bring it here. So that would be like the logo. So we don't need to do much more because I know you have to create that logo or something like that. Just what we can use. We can pick our colors. Maybe so. And invest. Okay, so we are here just skipping the process of just imputing text. Now we're going to see how we can add also the price tags. The price tags will usually a very stylized way to add those ones. So we can decide to go with a star. Let's just draw the star, or if we want to click on that and we make it about 8, like so, and we'll be using this. So we draw like that, I think is okay, like this. So Ctrl C, Ctrl F to copy and paste in front. We drag that in and we select a different color for it. So in case it's too shouty, you can do that, and then let's zoom in, and then maybe like this. Click 2 of them, highlight 2 of them, and you group them so they become 1. Then now we can bring that here. I think it shouldn't block, it shouldn't cover anything there. Then we could, registration fee is 500, training fees, so we just see registration and training 6,500 now and not 10,500 now. So summarize it for that case. I don't know why it's spanning out, but so let's just add our text. We say 6,500. I just want it to be limited fonts. I think 3 fonts, not I think, 3 fonts is the catch there. It shouldn't go beyond 3 fonts. Like that's the sweet spot of every design you should do. Once it's gone more than 3, it becomes crowded and very unattractive. Because each font will be like fighting for space and attention, and I think it's just how it's supposed to be. We can make that white, or we could just make that white, and we could make you or you, and let's cross over it. So we have option for crossing over here. When you click on this place, or you just press Ctrl T will give you the character option. Ctrl T, that's the character option there. But so it's just better you click here instead of going to look for this. So that we have that there. Registration and training. Let's group this. Click this guy, place them in center. Oh, sorry, that's not what we mean. Place them like that. No, bring them down a little bit. Then we have our font. Let's move that strike like so. So see, registration and what's it called? Registration and training. Instead, let's take that back. Go. Make that white. Reduce it to about 18. Spaces between them. Could also reduce that. Let's break that up. So registration and training. I hope it's visible enough. Yes, it is visible enough. So we have registration and training right over there. And what is, so hurry now. So we put hurry now here. Hurry now. Let's just write it there. Hurry now. And 3 exclamation marks. Zoop out here. Should we have to change the colors? Nope. I think we should just stick with that one. So we made use of 3 main colors. 3 main colors for this one. I think we can also duplicate this guy and click on it, transform, reflect, and okay. Can make it smaller. Or maybe like that. So this acquisition also can move out. If it's too big, can move this acquisition out a little bit, and we can bring this guy back. So it means this you also will move, not too much, like so. And yeah, we could centralize you there and bring you there like that, like this. So good. Save that. Good. So I think we're done from improving. Is that an improvement? If it's not an improvement, you let me know in the comment section. So, and also we'll try and see if we can do something different the next time. So this is the former one and this is the new one, all from the start to the finish, the whole design process. I've shown it to you, and if you like this video, you can share it with a friend. I see what you guys are doing, and I truly want to appreciate every single one of you that do share the videos, and I say thank you for sharing. I want to thank you for liking and also for subscribing. I will see you in the next one. Bye.